Hey everybody, this is Jenny, and I am walking on this beautiful country road outside of my house that's on the side where I live. And I am off today from teaching, thank God. Jenni needed a break, and I woke up at 3 o'clock this morning, which has been a frequent thing these days, a common thing. And the first thing that I do in the morning is light candles, because there's something so magical about candlelight. Motorcycle. And I just felt overwhelmed with gratitude. And I've been doing a lot of soul work and like mirror work by Louise Hay. I've been reading a book by Louise Hay called Mirror Work. 21 Days to Heal Your Life. And today's lesson was about gratitude. And it was literally starting my day, laying my first 10 minutes in bed, just thanking my bed for being a safe, soft, warm place for me to rest. I thanked my bed for holding me. I thanked my bed for everything that it gives to me on a nightly basis. I was thankful that in the moment that I needed it, I had the resources to get it. And what I'm learning about life right now is that these birds are so noisy, is that you must learn to feel true gratitude before you can attract more. And I used to think that, well, I'm scared to be grateful because that's telling the universe that this is an acceptable stopping point for me, and that's not the case at all. And something that really resonated with me in my reading today was, first of all, look at this scenery. Look where I live. I feel like the richest woman on the planet. Oh, I'm in Jardín, Antioquia, by the way, in Colombia. I don't feel like introducing myself and doing all that. I just want to share a positive, uplifting message. But it's like if you bought a friend a gift and that friend was like, rolled their eyes and was like, you got me blue, but my favorite color is red, and I needed a bigger size, and I don't get enough presents, and you haven't given me a present in a year, and it was complain. What would your thought be? You'd probably think, it's the last time I ever get her anything if she doesn't appreciate it. And the universe responds to us the same way. But if that friend lit up and was so happy and grateful and felt so loved and appreciated that you thought of her or him and verbalized all the ways in which he or she was grateful for the gift that you got, it's like you would just be thinking, I just can't wait to buy him or her a gift again, right? And I just really spent time, since I was off today, I wasn't upset that I woke up at 3 a.m. because I thought, they're looking at me. So funny living in a foreign village. If I say foreign, okay, not English speaking, not white. When I speak English, people are like, oh. Which, that's how other languages sound to me. It's beautiful, but it just really, I wasn't even upset that I was up so early, because I was like, I'm off today. I can take a nap later if I want to, or I can start my day right now. And I love to wake up at the ass crack of dawn like that at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, when everybody else is sleeping and my building is quiet and everything is so quiet and it's just me in my room with myself, whom I've grown to love very much. That's one of many things that traveling alone for long periods of time will give you, is a lot of times I'm all I have. I don't know anybody else, or I don't trust anyone that I'm around. And that has made me dig deep in such a way that now it's like, when all I have is me, I'm okay with that, because I fill my cup and I'm enough. That's all I need. And today I just really took extra time to just really ruminate in the concept of gratitude. And especially this week, because this week I am celebrating 3 years sober from drugs and alcohol. Now, let me also say, I do smoke weed occasionally. By occasionally, it might be 2 or 3 nights a week. Sometimes it might be once a month. That's my relationship with it. we all are where we are with different things, but I'm related. I'm talking about opiates. I'm talking about cocaine. I'm talking about X and copious amounts of alcohol. And this is such a nostalgic chapter for me because I started this journey 5 years ago. I left the United States on a one-way ticket in June 2017 and showed up in Medellin and started my journey traveling abroad in Colombia. It had been a goal or a dream since I was a little girl. And I am now back in Jardín. I've spent a little over 2 years in Colombia total. No, probably 2.5 out of all the years I've spent traveling. Only in South America I've been so far. And to realize that I'm back here this time to close this chapter. This is a beautiful starting point, and it's been a very interesting ending point, but I realized it's time to close this chapter emotionally and carry on with my life. And it was actually Jardín, the first time I left Jardín, that inspired this orchid tattoo on my neck. Those of you who have read my book and know my story know the symbolism of all my tats and where I got them and why I got them and what they mean, where I was at in my journey. When the pandemic hit, I was closing a 3-year chapter of traveling alone in South America, backpacking and village hopping, and I knew it was time to write my story, because people would say, "Oh my God, you've been doing this alone for a year and a half or 2 years or 3 years, like alone? That's crazy. You're so brave." And I would just think, if you only knew where I come from, you would know just how brave it is. And I'm going to be uploading a lot more videos about that, about recovery from sexual assault, about sobriety, about how to make passive sources of income while you travel. And being out of my comfort zone is what has pushed me to find these things. And I just basked in gratitude this morning for this journey, the good, bad, and the ugly. It has not been a journey for the faint of heart in no chapter. And the fact that sobriety is my superpower. I could not have ever imagined being sober in general, let alone being sober while traveling, especially being in hostels and in cultures where it's just prevalent to drink. But that's in most of the world, except Saudi Arabia or Turkey or Muslim countries, but like my students that I teach online. But now it doesn't matter. I can go to bars. I still smoke cigarettes. And now I can go to bars. It's not a temptation. Sometimes I miss wine, but for me, it's the mindset of, I know that I will never be able to have just one. And then, of course, I start to question, and I'm like, well, you're so much further along now in your healing journey. Maybe you can. Maybe you can have just a glass of wine with dinner. What if I can't? What if I can't? What if I open that door and 10,000 demons come through it and I'm not able to put it down? And I'm to the point now where I've come too far. I have arisen from the ashes like a phoenix, that nothing is worth risking that. I am now happier than I could have ever imagined being. Hold on. Four-wheeler. I haven't done that yet. But I have more peace, love, and joy inside of me than I ever could have imagined. And I am not willing to risk not protecting that for anything or anyone. And let me tell you, if you've been thinking about getting sober, or someone in your life you've watched suffer for years from substance and like alcohol and drug abuse, I will tell you that for years I tried my own negotiation tactics, and nothing that I could do on my own was ever going to be enough. The only thing I had not tried was stopping, divorcing it completely, with both coke, which at the time I was balls deep in here in Jardín in Colombia, which I'll talk more about that in other videos. There's a lot about that in my book too, but I want to expound on what I've written since I published my book 2 years ago almost. But here's what I discovered. I knew that my way was never going to work. I had to literally say I am powerless to alcohol and drugs. that I knew that all the attempts I had made before, the 30-day drinking challenges, I had tried going to AA meetings. AA was never my thing. I got sober without AA. So can you. But do whatever it takes. If you need that, do it. But here's the most important thing that I learned, that I heard my soul screaming at me the last time I woke up hungover when I said it's time to listen to this rage inside of me, was the root of addiction is pain. And unless you figure out the root of the pain that sends you into a tailspin, that sends you that impulse to want to go buy a gram and do bumps, or a lot of lines, or that makes you want to go get that bottle and reach for a bottle or a cup. It doesn't matter what else you try to do. It will only be a Band-Aid. And it was a very similar process as when I started my weight loss journey. I've lost 80 pounds as well, which I'll be leaving videos about more about all this and documenting my bodybuilding journey as I travel. But it was until I find the root of what makes me want to reach for sugar binges or fast food binges or food in general, unless I figure out what my resistance to it is. It doesn't matter how many diets I go on. It doesn't matter how many times I train with a trainer, or how hard I work out, or what challenges I join, or who my accountability partner is. It is a waste of my time. But with sobriety, it was until I find the root of my pain, like anything that I'm going to try to do to get sober is only a Band-Aid. And I knew I was never going to find that root until I got sober, because alcohol just created a lot of ruckus in my head. And I didn't even realize how many ways it was creating ruckus in my head until I got sober. And it wasn't peaceful at first. It was a bitch, because I was traveling alone. And I came back to Colombia. I was in Argentina when I had my light bulb moment, and I came back to Colombia right after Argentina, November 2019, right before the pandemic hit. And I was like, oh my God, I'm going to be back in Jardín, where I have so many friends and contacts, and everyone's going to want to invite me drinks for my return. And it's a very heavy drinking culture anyway. And this is where I did so much coke. And I'd already been back to Jardín and stayed sober from coke. But the alcohol was a whole different ballgame. And I actually am going to leave the rest of this on a different video, so I'll be back.